Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Alright, so OrcQuest. Let's see what the doctor ordered. This is a prototype, and then as such, things will change. Most notably the packaging. My understanding is they really wanted to get this to look a little bit more done than it is in like the looks. Like for instance, you're gonna see some like dust like containers for the miniatures and stuff like that. Like just the packaging and whatnot. But I mean, you know, they're used to trying to look, you know, super professional and all that. But when it comes down to it, I've gotten stuff in like poker chip tin boxes. I mean, this is gonna look great. I have no issue. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. All right, so let's see what we got here. Ooh, that was high pitched. Oh, all right. And look at that. This looks just fine, I swear. Alright, let's see how to get this out easily. Oh, it's got like padding. Kind of see right here and here. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. There's one. There's two. Alright, so we got two here. I have no idea which one's which. I'm assuming board game minis, but I guess we will see. I love the art. I really do love the art. I remember when this, the first Kickstarter launched, how impressed I was with the art. I believe it was mostly this. I don't recognize this art at all. Let's take a look at that. Looks great though. I really love the detail, love the style. Just looks super cool. Let's go and take a look. Looks like they got kind of the side of everything looking cool. Look at the back here. Okay, so the back. Man, is this just a 2-box system or what? Is that what it is? Monolith loves their 2-box systems. Unless it's claustrophobia. Which was great. Okay, so let's see here. This is like a normal, like what you would see in the back. Like this looks done to me. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And then we have this one here, which to me feels like the main one, but it's probably because I'm more used to the art, perhaps. It's certainly a little bit darker, but it has this really bright spot here, which really draws the eye. Okay, let's take a look. And there's that. So we got like a green and a brown. I think this one might be heavier. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. So this is tiles. Like it's a different component. One expansion book, one quest book. There's no quest book in this one. There's miniatures in both. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so let's go and start with the green one. That's the art I kind of recognize anyway. So we're going to start there and see where this leads us. See what this is all about. This has like dice and all sorts of other stuff in there. So it should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. All right. I think that might be enough. We'll see. Maybe I'll do another one here. Why not? We'll just cut the whole box. What could go wrong with that? You ask. Everything, I say. See how easy these are big square boxes is what this is. This is a crazy amount. Alright. Now Monolith, back in the day, never did prototypes. And I must say, they have come a long way with that because this seems very nice. Again, as far like, and even then they're like, oh, you know, sorry about this or that or whatever. And it's like, no, this looks great, guys. This looks great. I've unboxed some prototypes. That lid came off just fine. So we got some padding here with the papers for to kind of fill up some space, as you can see. This is kind of what they were talking about, where you're going to get like these boxes. This is what they were all apologizing for. You guys know, you guys see me unbox so many of these things. I'm not concerned at all. All right, so here's one box. Let's see what's in there. Looks like we got a stack of cards. So no storage yet when it comes to this. And if you recall, this is a different version than the original Kickstarter when it comes to what's included in the box. So that's something they still, I'm sure, have to design and kind of work through and stuff. Right now, this looks like an old school Mythic Games box. But we got a whole bunch of cards. A whole bunch of cards. My goodness. Okay. A ton of cards. We got another box here. Probably have some more minis. We'll take a look at that. Looks like we got some more spacing. We got some tiles shoved onto the sides here. We got some more tiles here. Whew, guys, we're getting there. What is this? The Sewer Fever chapter. That looks like fun. Love me some rats. Why not? Some Skaven. We got the rulebook. Pretty beefy rulebook. We'll see how it's printed. Sometimes they don't even print the prototype rulebooks like front and back. You know, you never know. The quest book, a lot skinnier. We got some tokens. That's the word I'm looking for. We got some map tiles. Interesting that the map tiles, like the box is bigger than the map tiles. I'm so used to having them be like exactly the same. We'll take a look at that. Looks like a wide variety there. My goodness, there's so much here, guys. Oh boy. Some more kind of token component things. And that's it for that single box. Okay. Well, let's start with the big stuff. The rule book. That's most important. Put it on its back. Again, this is a prototype. There's room to change everything. Oh my gosh, an index. In the prototype rulebook, let it be known you can do an index. I believe in you. Look at that, a full page index at the very back, easy to find, alphabetical order. The letters are bolded. It got the stick. It lists multiple pages. Super, super nice. I dig it. Yeah, this looks good. Carrying capacity, characters, charge, chicken token. Page 21. Hold on. Chicken token. Let's find what this chicken token is. Page 21. Look at all the color on that. All right. We're on 21. I'm looking for a chicken token. Chicken. When a hero moves on a chicken token, the token is removed from the game and the hero heals 1 damage. A chicken does not earn loot cards or bad butt points. It does not prevent enemies from moving and does not block line of sight or line of fire. You got chickens. Eat the chickens, guys. Chick-fil-A style. All right. So, yeah, this looks cool. Now we have the table of contents, which is based off the headers, not alphabetical order, but still very good at organizing group things like the hero phase and the hero combat and stuff like that. Or if you don't know what the name is, often you can try and find it that way. Okay, so it starts with kind of a little lore dump. We got some game components where it shows the picture, it shows the name, and it shows the amount. I dig all that. It shows some of the actual minis, but just like the single sculpts, this is how many unique sculpts are. And there's like 8 peasants and 4 dogs and 6 guards and stuff like that. I dig that. An overview introduction, going over the basics like the hero phase, the enemy phase, victory and defeat. All of this seems great so far when it comes to actually learning how to play the game. I dig that. Setup, that's obviously something we want to learn how to do. Yeah, let's get a lot of call-out boxes, a lot of examples, arrows, images. It's all in color. This is quite nice, actually. Like this whole thing is just terrain. The one thing I will say, this is something I've always kind of felt is important, is a lot of times when you see stuff like this, it makes it seem like this is an example because it's not done in the same way. And sometimes people will skip over examples. And so it's just important to, I guess, be consistent and just kind of keep that in mind that, like, when you do these special things, it needs to serve a real big purpose to make it this way instead of this way. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense, because there are times where people will skip over things they think they don't need to read, only to find out, oh crap, I needed to read that. Yeah, this looks good. This is great. Oops. I dig it. All right, cool. That looks great. It's a lot, but it's very flowy. Like the text is large. There's tons of pictures and examples, stuff like this. Like you can see, there's not a whole lot of text on any given page. You'll have to read this, I think, pretty quickly. Well, I guess I don't know how fast you read. Sewer chapter. Let's see what the chapter kind of looks like here. It's interesting that it's a different size and everything. I'm glad it's tall instead of wide, though. See, sewer fever looks like a little bit of some stuff, and then some new things like rat swarms and stuff like that. And then just quests. Oh, look at that. We got some art. That's fun. I dig that. Yeah, and then just a whole bunch of quests and stuff. Beasts of the Woods chapter. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Nice. All right, I'll take a quick look at this. I imagine it's kind of the same format. On the back, it looks like there's some loot stuff and whatnot that might be related. Here's the story bit, and then just right into the quests. Doesn't look like they have a whole lot of rules in this one. The rat one seems it does a little bit, and maybe per quest they do as well. Let's take a look at some of the big items I have here. I'm not going to do tokens yet, though. Let's go ahead and do map tiles. Let's do map tiles. Like these. Alright, let's try and open it up. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Alright. Perfect. Perfect. Maybe. Far from perfect. Average at best. Okay. Now, if there's one thing I know, it's that Monolith often does really good quality cardboard. That being said, I have no idea about the manufacturing of this game in particular. I imagine if they had molds for the miniatures already made, then they kind of had to go with whatever that factory was. Because normally, in fact, I've never heard really of a factory giving its molds to another factory. And so it typically, whatever you use for your miniatures, you tend to kind of be stuck with, unless you want to do some weird multi thing. So I have no idea what this was. I didn't see like an E-star or anything like that. Oh, I don't know who made this. No, a lot of times they don't say. Oh, look at that. They're not gonna say. Fancy that. That made in PRC, by the way. The PRC is, so it doesn't say made in China. I don't know why they started changing that, but it's the People's Republic of China. I had to look that up on my washing machine, actually. My washer and dryer set. It was like, made in PRC. I'm like, what the heck's PRC? It's the People's Republic of China. They just didn't want to say made in China. Yeah, so the squishiness of this is actually not much at all. It's actually fairly firm, though it is fairly bendy as well. That being said, none of these tiles seem to be bent. Let's go and do a test. At least not too bent, if it's bent at all. Okay, so definitely there's some bend there, or you wouldn't see the gap. So now it's curved that way and that way. So there's a little bit of bend, but I'm not seeing anything where it's like bowing up or down or something like that. But I just took them out, so I guess we will see. There is a little scratch I got there. That makes me a little sad. I'm going to cry a little bit. Art-wise, this looks good. I like the lighting kind of changes there. I dig that, but it's not like too dark or anything. There's not a whole lot of contrast, I feel. A lot of times, like it just seems very washed out, at least here. Like even the green isn't like super vibrant. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a style choice, but it's certainly not popping out. It's not like Madara or something like that. It's a little bit more cartoony and a little bit more bright and robust. I like the 3D effect that these pillars have. That's kind of cool. I dig that. I feel like the carpet might be overused a little bit when it comes to the carpet in the center of an empty room. And all the rooms are empty, so there's no like furniture or anything like that. So I imagine all these were designed before Monolith took over, so it's not there. They normally put quite a lot of like stuff inside, so it's not just an empty thing. And the squares here are nice. I can see them, but they're not like obnoxious either. So the only thing I would say is I think they're fairly small. Just, you know, in my mind, they're fairly small, but I'm sure they fit the gameplay. Yeah, looks cool. Looks like there's a decent enough variety. Looks like it's mainly one building and kind of one outside, at least in this package here. Take a look at some of these tokens. Look at this bag here. Not sure why that came in a separate bag, but it did. All right, so we got some regular squares. They pop out just fine, double-sided, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and try and do a reverse one. That's always a fun attempt. There we go. Do you get that? Again, very bendy. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm not really seeing too bad of tags or anything like that. It's actually quite nice in that regard. And yeah, the linen finish isn't too reflective or anything like that. I'm not really seeing too much peel, but there's definitely a little bit of peel. But again, you know, all this is prototype stuff, so just kind of seeing where they're at now as opposed to really anything else. Yeah, the little special shapes there tended to go good. There's no weird undercutting or anything like that, or I guess really overcutting where they don't line up the start and the end of the cut. All that looks good. We're going to open this up just to see what tokens are there. But unless there's anything that's like super different, I'm going to have to cut in between. That scares me. There we go. Maybe that was enough. But unless there's like a unique shape or something very large or very small, we get kind of diminishing returns just punching out everything. Okay. And again, this cardboard quality is less than I normally get from Monolith. But again, I normally get finished things and not prototypes, so there's that as well. I like the little label there, that's nice. And as you can see, it is front and back, so that's nice as well. Let's see, we got more of that kind of normal stuff. We got some obvious damage stuff, whole bunch of stuff, beds and whatnot. So it looks like that's where the furniture comes in, is through boxes and tokens and stuff. Very interesting. I'm sure that's probably gameplay related, so that's cool to see. That I noticed the issue and then they were like, oh yeah, we solved it. Now this looks different, right? This is unique. What's going on here? Let me start punching whatever the heck this is out. How about that? Let's see how. What in God's name? Okay. Well, this is certainly different. I think it's all attached here, and I think this folds up, is my assumption. Let me try and get it out. Come on. Yeah, this is not the smoothest thing to do right now. With you can see how it's like splitting apart here and stuff, right? And again, doesn't mean the actual one will be like this. Hopefully it improves, because otherwise that would be pretty disappointing. But I'd rather that part split than the actual part I need. Certainly not popping out though, my goodness. All right, hold on. Because I think, ta-da! Now, do I see any peeling anywhere? Surprisingly, no. No, there's no peeling. Now this is very obvious that it, oh, it looks like it goes like this. It's actually kind of cool. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Nifty, nifty, nifty. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. This is like a little dice tray. What's going on here? Then we have these over here, and I don't even know what those do. But that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. It's pretty neat. And then it folds flat. You can store it. I don't know how long that'll stay as robust as that, but I dig it. I really do. That's cool. Cool, especially if it works. All right, very neat. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Let's look at some of this, because it looks like there are extension boards of some kind. I don't know if this is works as an overlay or what. I got some rule books to read. I got some games to play in time, because it goes live on January 10th. My goodness, I got this so late, guys. I really did. Okay, so Looks like obviously this is just kind of more of the same. And it's not the same front and back. I like the water. But again, you can kind of tell how like it's a little desaturated with all that. Looks like these are nighttime views of it maybe or something. Just overlays. I didn't see this kind of cavern stuff either. That's kind of neat. I dig that. So yeah, there's some more stuff there. We got a few more like building overlay things. I'm assuming is what all of this is. You got your classic rug. And they are labeled, by the way, so that's kind of nice. So only in one corner, which means I will obsess over getting them to all line up. We also have these two boards, which also look fun. I have no idea what their names are yet. Feel free to let me know in the comments. Probably hear that before I actually even do the rulebook. I dig it though. I like the kind of the red and the green here. This coming out of the eyes and stuff like that, that's very neat. I kind of dig that. And this is some kind of gauge that's going up. It looks like it has some marks, 1, 6, and 11. And those do stand out to me. They have the little spikes, which helps. They have the number and a lighter color, which also helps. And it looks like it changes from this yellow to this orange to this red to the black. So there's a lot of visual cues there that I really like. I dig that. Overall, I think this looks great. I really do. I think that looks awesome. Okay, look at some cards. Let's look at some cards. We have here... There we go. We have here... Looks like some character cards. There's probably some enemy cards here too or something. Because that seems like a lot of cards otherwise. I don't think there's that many people. I think there's like 6 guys or something like that. Alright, so let's see. What do we got here? We got, oh shoot, we got a whole bunch. Okay, that's fun. Let's take one for now and take a look. So, I'll tell you right now, it's sufficient. It doesn't seem like it's bowing anywhere, which is nice. It's not front and back. See, we got the name, we got what they are, like a warrior or a ranger or something like that. Some kind of special abilities, some keywords, some different stats here and here, and then mostly just art. So it's certainly larger than it needs to be, unless this tends to be a place where you put like tokens, like status effects, bleeding, stuff like that. I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm much more okay with it when that's the case, when it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, this is just a spot I still use. Otherwise, it really could just be almost a card like that. And I'm not inherently against it. This still isn't that big. It's not like it's going to be some huge table hog because of this. At least not for the player characters. I love the Goblin Thief. He's so tiny. Oh, never mind. The Hobgoblin Warlock looks fun. We got some Priestess and a Ranger as well. And then we got oh man, what is this? A Leprechaun Priest. What? What? A leprechaun priest. I freaking love it. There's a big variety here. A troll brute, a goblin druid, an orc paladin. Oh my gosh, guys. There are so many. There are so many. War dog. I love it. It has abilities, activation. Activation is kind of interesting. I dig that. It looks like almost like what you roll and then what you get is what they do. The peasant, the guard, the soldier. Again, not front and back on this. Tons of stuff, guys. Lots and lots of stuff. The evil hyenas and evil rats. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a lot. Oh, look. Now is that the same art? Is it just one of those things where it could be like bad or good? That is the exact same art. Okay, well, good to know. Good to know. Oh, a Cthulhu orc. I dig it. Love it. Love it. That's funny. Okay, well, that was a lot here. So this is interesting that they're like labeled like this. Do you see this? Got like a whole lot of box 1. So I'm glad I opened box 1 first. See, I thought that was 1. And then they're like labeled. That's interesting. Now, while interesting, I'm not sure. Oh, look, it's a skill and event. Elven Vestiges, Sewer Fever cards. So you can know kind of what to put them in. That's kind of nice to group them up like that. I dig that. Well, let's look at the loot and relic stuff, because that sounds fun. Everybody loves loot, right? I love loot. If you don't love loot, you're probably on the wrong channel. Just saying. It's probably not. We're probably not a good fit for each other. It's not you. It's probably me. I really like loot. Man, I get addicted to like the loot-driven video games. My goodness. Okay, so this is obviously the back. That's boring. Let's go flip them over and take a look. We got crossbows and bows, and I don't know if this is supposed to like. I don't think it's like spoiler stuff. The fact that guess what, guys? There's shields in the game. There are shields in the game. Is that a skull you can actually drink out of? Is that what's going on there? It's interesting. Sword, hatchet, very like plain names. Sword, resources, gold teeth. Love it. Poison of Uso stuff. Uso of Oosquick. Fragment of power. All right, interesting. Stinking socks. What? I'm so confused. Why are there stinking socks? Okay. Let's see. This looks like fun. This is events, patrols, and boss. Now, see, here is skill and event. So I'm not sure. It looks like core box and hero box. It looks like eventually there might be a hero box. So I'm going to separate that. This also says hero box. And this is expansion, expansion, expansion. And these are all core. So let's leave it to the core here for this at least. I might take a look at the hero box because this has loot, but also has this whatever craft star, and star stuff. And I'm kind of curious what that looks like. Like what are they doing there to list it like that? Hopefully that makes sense. That confuses me a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got. Oops! The hero moves 2 squares ahead. Alert level +1 if the hero hits an obstacle. Where'd that come from? I love the little little blurb here. Love the little bit of art. It just makes it more thematic, I feel. Squabble. All heroes with line of sight. If you lose 1 action for this hero phase, I'm the best. The others are all newbies. Looks very silly, very fun. I can see the table really starting to like role play the orc stuff, right? Just like when you play an orc player in 40k and they start going daka daka daka. It's the exact same thing here. So that looks like fun. I dig that. These are probably patrols. Looking for boss. I'm wondering if that's what these are here or if it's something else. No, see, I don't feel like that's... Oh, no, maybe it is. Maybe it is, because I see the little sign up there. This is a cockatrice one. Wings, beak, shell, vicious spit, squeal, and strategic retreat. Yeah, that's definitely not an orc one. They don't retreat. That was loud. Okay, this is expansion as well. I'll put it over there. Okay, let's take a look at whatever this is, and then I think we're done with cards. We can open up maybe those mini things. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? Huh? And then we'll go to the box too, which I think is mostly minis. I think there's some other stuff in there. I think it's mostly minis. How they decided to separate them, I don't know. All right, this is pack 10 of 10. Look at that. We're going to the end. Okay, so we got Move, Follow Me, Mystic Hand, Stamina, Battle Cry, Reprimand. How do they reprimand? With a slap to the face, Batman style. Move, Glory to the Past. Interesting that some of these are not green. It was better before. I don't know what the difference is there. Stamina, Seismic Strike, Juggernaut. It looks like these are all fairly unique as well. And then some more loot. Are those fairy wings? Hold on a second. Okay, I thought they were like fairy wings. I was like, that's a choice. That's a freaking sweet Shadow Mantle. I dig that. Skill armor, heavy maul. All right. Cool. Okay, so that's it for cards. That's enough of the cards. Let's take a look at some minis. We're going to start with the small box. Let's take a look at some minis. There we go. Wait, how do boxes work? Hold on a second. I need an adult. There we go. Okay. Woo! There's some upside down ones. Now, I believe these do have flat bases. And again, this is something that I don't believe there was a whole lot of control over. Because I think a lot of these were already made beforehand. This Monolith is just taking over it, so people actually get their freaking game. Kind of the idea. I have a feeling that might happen a lot with these like small indie companies. Just end up going through the companies that have done it before. Monolith is still pretty small, but you get what I'm saying here. All right, we got some wings. Hot diggity dog. Let's zoom in. All right, let's see what's going on here. So you can see the classic fit in. It'll have a little kind of L point here. Has the ridges. These feathers look very nice. They're very, very thick, very sculpted. Let me make sure I'm centered on the screen for you so you can actually see what the heck I'm looking at. Nice separation between the skin and the feathers. These scales look freaking sweet. I can tell you that much right now. All right, now we're going to build a cockatrice. That's what's going to happen. We're going to zoom out a little bit, just a little bit easier to stay in camera here. Let's look at the big one. Why not? We'll go big right now to the Cthulhu Orc. Because why the heck not? I'm just going to start throwing this stuff on the floor. Look at that junk. That's what's happening. And we're focused. Look at that. All right. Yeah, no, this is cool. So, flat base. Looks like... Oh, it's kind of interesting. It almost looks like... It's like Like, this doesn't seem 3D printed at all, but it's got these weird, like, support posts almost. But it's not even like... They're not even like posts. They fall right off. Very interesting. It does look like it's labeled. That could come in handy. It does have a little bit of basing here to give it a dynamic sculpt. If you're going to have flat bases, you may as well still cheat and give your guy the ability to stand on a rock by putting the rock there. Otherwise, all of your minis have to stand flat, which is kind of a bummer. This seems like final production plastic to me, by the way. Definitely seems just like PVC. And yeah, the detail looks pretty good. This net came out really nice. I dig that. This skirt thing, it is flat here, and there is no fanning, which is kind of a bummer. It also gets really skinny here and then thicker here. These are the kind of things, by the way, when I look at minis, like for Reggie Games, stuff like this is the kind of thing I note. It's like, hey, what's the thickness of this everywhere? Like, see how it gets really thick here, stuff like that. It's something not everybody really pays attention to, but I do try to do that. I think these are like tentacles, but they're like really thick. Like, do you see how, like, there's no real inside to them, so they almost look like a flap of fabric or something. So kind of a weird choice, at least on this one, I feel. The anchor's cool. I do dig the anchor. The face looks awesome. I really dig that. And the little tiny wings are very fitting. In fact, they could be a little bit tinier. This rope looks great as well. This right here does not. This is like, I think I see what's going on here. This is a tentacle instead of a finger. It's not blended in because this is just a tentacle. Never mind, that works. It's kind of gross, but it works. And then a perfectly fine hand here. Very well defined, by the way, so that's nice. And I like that this is empty. Very cool. All right, let's do the other big one. I just want to find the rest of the cockatrice. That's really all I want to do. All right, I think we may have found it. Yes, we did. All right, so I don't know if yours is going to be separate pieces or not, but mine is. And I'm assuming I only fit one way. Looks like that goes like that. And this one will go like that. And there you have it. So we got the feather tail here going on. Got the beak. The inside of the mouth is slightly sculpted, so that's fine. The tongue is sculpted. Eyeball looks great. These wings are actually cool and very defined. It makes it a lot larger, I can tell you that much, because they're like winged up, which is, I don't think, the usual way you typically see these guys. So that's cool to see as well. Fairly low to the ground. The little chicken feet, I like how it's like right here at the edge, and then, you know, every single part of him, the head, the tail, and both wings are over the edge of the actual base. That's super cool as well. All right, I think we got one more enemy. I'm guessing gray is enemies and green are heroes. So let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, now this is interesting. I might zoom in a little bit on this, just so you can really see the detail, hopefully. Ooh, so we got some spiky freaking kneecaps there, I tell you what. Very smartly sculpted in the fact that these are quite cheap to make, because this is like almost all one piece here. You can tell just, again, how flat it can actually be. So you clasp it on there, you're good. But we got some great separation. It's not even glued here. This is thick enough to where I think it's totally fine. It's not bending, but it's also not looking silly. The chain here looks great, and it's actually holding up quite well also. The axe doesn't get quite as skinny as I'd like, but it's pretty close. I dig that. Yeah, the actual heads here look to scale. I appreciate that in this hyena guy. A ton of armor, like layers and layers of armor. And then this fur cloak. That fur looks fan-freaking-tastic. It looks really, really, really good. Like, I really do like that. I think that's awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool. I dig that guy. Let's look at one of these. I might keep it a little zoomed in here for these guys. All right, here's one of the heroes. Yeah, ugly. I can tell you that much. What is going on here? That is a beard and a half. My goodness. Two different kinds of horns here. Giant freaking maw. I dig that. This is a centaur by the looks of it. Like the fur here. The veins on the skin look cool. The legs are neat. I dig that. The tail looks pretty good. I'm not too hurt about any of that. Perhaps under here, this tail doesn't really have a good definition on the bottom side, which is kind of unfortunate because you can kind of see it fairly easily here. But other than that, I think this is actually pretty good. Even this cloth here doesn't get too thick, which is nice. Oh, right here. What the heck's going on here? What is that? That's not natural. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. But when they filled that in, it looks ugly. I can tell you that much. I'm not sure what that is. Muscle definition is good. I dig that again. I love this fur. The whole weapon looks great. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I'm glad this is empty, but I wish it was like emptier, if that makes sense. All right, now we got one more here. And we're on to the big box. Oh, man. It's the troll guy. Look at that. I wonder if they have a gray version of him. That'll be interesting to see. You know, if you print one, printing one in another color isn't too bad. Okay, it is a separate piece here. You can see the separation there, but it's actually assembled quite well. Even this prototype is. Love the big old belly. I really do. Love the big freaking mallet. That looks great. It looks like cartoony almost. A lot of this stuff adorning them, that's for sure. And the cloaks, the fur cloaks are turning out. They look great. They really do. Yeah, overall, pretty cool. All right, so that leaves us with the big box. So let's take a look, shall we? Looks like I can probably just do this and open her up. Move these over to the side. Get over there. You're not the star of the show anymore. And let's probably fail at opening the box nicely. Perfect. Just like all Tux boxes. It's kind of terrible. Okay, we got like just minis thrown in here, guys. Wow, okay. So, right off the bat, we're just gonna dig in. I think a lot of these are gonna be repeats, so we don't have to look at all of them. So that's good. This should actually go pretty quick, guys. Stay tuned. There's still the whole second box. Okay, another hyena guy. Dig that. He looks super cool. Or she looks super cool. My bad. My apologies. This is open up much better. This looks way better. Holding the weapon in front like that. Man, these like little sharp points are actually sharp. Imagine that. This little scaling here reminds me of like Massive Darkness 1. A lot of the enemies had that kind of stuff. Great fur. The arrow quiver looks actually fantastic. These arrows look great. The bow in there looks nice too. I dig that. There is no string sculpted. I'm okay with that too. Heck, maybe they just need to still string their bow. Right now they're not worried about it. They got this big old melee weapon. Yeah, and I really like the angle of the face as well. I think that looks cool. All right, what else we got? We got this little rat guy here. Look at the tail. Love the segmented tail. That's a lot of fun. It also provides a connection point for the weapon, which is very nice to keep making all these connection points so that it doesn't get all wibbly wobbly or anything like that. A lot of the gaps here, very smartly sculpted, I would say. Face looks good. Love the ears poking out of the fabric. That looks super cool as well. Even this rope looks great. Looks really good. There is a little bit of an angle on the underside here, so it looks really good there as well. It's actually a very nicely sculpted guy. All right, next up we have another hero. This one is very interesting because he looks very much not like an orc. That's this gigantic crossbow though. My goodness, like the size of him. Jeez. Got all these, I'm assuming bolts here. It looks like a sword here. Very fancy hat. Love the hat. The hat looks super cool. And it's an interesting pose to have his foot forward like that too. I dig that. Clear separation between the legs. That looks good as well. And yeah, all of his clothes look cool too. That's all I gotta say about him, really. Looks like there's some more of these guys, but we've already seen those. We have not seen this guy though. Very interesting. Love his mustache. That came out good. His eyebrow, his eyes, his hair curl. All the details here are great. He is really just standing there though, so that's definitely a little bit of a bummer, but I think it fits his personality with the little, twirl mustache and all that. He does have a gun. Interesting to see a gun as well. Not something I would have expected, considering the last guy just had a crossbow. I think somebody's at a disadvantage. Okay, so we got at least a few more of those. This guy's without his base even, so I'll have to find a spare base somewhere there. Let's see, we got quite a few of them. See, here they continue to be. But we got some new ones as well. Let's take a look. There's a whole bunch of these. So let's take a look at these guys. Okay, so, or these ladies again. Yeah, so super great actually on this. This actually looks quite robust. The PVC quality is actually very nice. It's bendy, it's not going to break, but it's also straight. Even stored like this. I mean, they're literally just like tossed in there, guys. So, yeah, that's actually a really good sign. The necklace here looks great. The little, like, a forehead little tiara kind of thing looks good. Of course, the orb looks awesome. The fingers on it are nice and separate. I dig that. The sleeves have little edges, which is nice. Bracelets look clear. Love the little kind of belt thing going on there. Even the clasp right there looks great. The line for the fabric looks really good. Really appreciate that. Even the detail on it. This is actually a great little mini. I dig it. And again, quite cheap, as you can see. Just one sculpt, flat, boom, there you go. You're done. I dig that. So you got, oh jeez, a few of those. A few of those. There's another one of those guys. Skip him. All right, let's look at this guy here then. Very cool. Love the open book. I wish I had seen some kind of scribble on this. That would have been nice, because then it could take a wash really well to show that. You just put it with like a little light brown wash and it just goes into there and does the writing automatically for you. It's super cool. Would have liked to see that instead of blank pages, but that's okay. It does have a binding in the middle, so that's cool to have that. So the spine is there. A little detail in the jewelry is good. This little parchment paper looks awesome. I do really dig that. It's a good pose. The head thing he has is wrapped all the way around. I can see the wrap there. Very impressed there as well. And yeah, overall, this looks cool. The staff looks cool as well. Love the little bit of a billowing of the cloak, but not too bad. Just a little bit. I dig that. Not bad. Like, I just mean like not too much. Now this guy looks cool. He's like a double space. It's like he's dismounted. Some great looking armor. Open mouth. The clasps are going in. The teeth are showing there. The inside of the mouth is sculpted. The little skinny tail is present. The underside spikes are there. All of this looks super cool. I dig it. The bottom jaw here doesn't seem to have teeth at all. That's kind of a bummer. It would have been nice to have that a bit more ferocious. And additionally, I can see the jewelry here, but I think there's supposed to be jewelry here, but if so, I can't see it. And there is a fairly gnarly mold line that might be messing up some stuff there too, right there on the side. How unfortunate that had to be there. Love the little wrappings and the satchel, and again, the entire holding bar handle there. All that looks super cool. I dig that. All right, we got some dogs. I dig the dogs. They're super cool. Okay, so they got some big old teeth in the front, little tiny teeth in the front, on the bottom. Love the skull with the horns. That's just fun. And again, the paw hanging off the edge here, and then the leg and tail going off here. The texture of the fur is quite interesting. I'm not sure I've seen one like that. It almost looks like little bubbles. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think painted it would look better than it does gray for that texture anyway. All right, let's see what do we got here. We got more. There's so many, guys. There's so many. All right, facial structure looks fantastic. This is the peasant. Love the 3-pronged rake trident thing going on here. Love the cloth armor. That looks super cool. Just cloth, really. Lots of wrinkles, stuff like that. The hair looks good. The hood thrown back looks good. I love that these are separated. And yeah, I think this can almost be as bent as it wants to be, and it'd still be fine for a peasant. So I really dig that. There's one of those twirly mustache guys. We do have some slingshot. Look at that. It's a freaking slingshot. It's freaking sweet. Love the long face. The fingers look cool. Again, the segmented rat tail is just awesome. Love the shield. That looks good. The texture on the wood looks good there. Yeah, these like straps over the chest look really great. The muscle definition's good. He's poking out of his base a little bit, but again, prototype, I'm not too concerned. That's like the least of my worries here. All right, another one of those guys. My goodness, they're just falling everywhere. Another one of those guys. We have some archer guys here. Let's take a look. We got a whole bunch. Oh, jeez. We got a whole bunch of archer guys. Hold on. There we go. All right, so the archer guy, again, no string, but that's okay. It looks like he just released anyway. You could put a little metal wire there if you really wanted to. I love the straight arm here. Love that he's braced on this little piece of wood here. And I love the fact that they included the wood. That's really nice to see. Just like there's a little bit of a mold line here, but it looks like they're trying to match it up with the design of the clothes, which is also nice to see. It's an awkward connection point here, but it also works. I'm indifferent with it. The quiver on the back looks nice, though I think most of the time they did hold it on their waist. But who the heck is counting how elves shoot? Not me. All right, now we got this rat guy, as soon as we're focused, which we are now. So this is not filled in here, but I think it's good. I think that's fine. It looks defined. Again, the rope looks great. Connection point with there is good. Love the like rings on the end of the little staff. And I love that they're looking sideways. I like that all the poses seem to vary quite a lot, actually. All right, we got this guy here with his little staff thing going on. That looks good. It looks nice and defined in the back, which I appreciate. There's a gap there, which I appreciate. I really like that. The hair looks great. Facial features are really nice. And, of course, the armor is super cool as well. But he is, again, just standing there. All right, there's quite a few of these guys, so we'll go over this guy real quick. He's got a club with some great wood texture, really good wood texture. I really like that. Good muscle definition. The necklace looks really nice. Love the little kind of satchel stuff that's going on there. Love the ears. The ears are great and very prominent. And again, so is that tail actually as well. I think painted, these would really stand out for very little effort. I think you could get this game looking real good painted, actually pretty darn quick. There's the boomerang guy here. Let's see, anything new? No, nothing new. So many. There's still a whole other box. My goodness. Oh, we got some more peasants. Look at this, a soldier. I'll show you all the minis in a second from this one box. Inside of the shield is sculpted. The nice kind of metal trim around it is great. This is like perfectly as thick as it needs to be. It also, I believe, is ABS. It has that feel. It is. So you can hear the little snappiness of it. It's a little bit shinier. ABS is always shinier. And often you'll see the little mark where it got broken off of its sprue as well, here and here. And you won't really see that as the same way, that little nub, typically, with PVC. Instead, it'll be like a little, almost a divot, typically. Armor looks great. Love the design on the chest. All that's cool. All the different bags and whatnot are neat. Love the boots. And really glad, again, that this was ABS. That looks great. Looks really, really good. Glad they're spending the money on that. All right. Let's see. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, so I think There's a few more characters. Let me actually see what we're doing here. Yeah, so I think all we have left. No, this guy's different. We'll look at that guy. I think a whole lot of characters, guys. Like a whole lot of them. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's about... Oh, wait. No, that guy's new. We'll look at him. Oh, man, there's so many heroes. So many, guys. I think I got them all, though. I think I have all of the minis in here. Again, it's just a pile of them. So you know what I'm dealing with. Okay. All right. We got these two guys, and then we got heroes. And then we're done. All right. Yeah, so I think this guy looks goofy. He's got like a little smirk on his face. He's got these silly little wing things. But then he's got this freaking sweet weapon, which is a great looking kind of halberd kind of stuff going on that I really do like. I'm not really noticing, by the way, too much in the form of like the seams or anything like that, mold lines and all that. This is solid, which is a little unfortunate, but it's hitting quite well. It's not too bad. Armor plates look great, of course. The trim looks great. Again, not even really seeing like any runners that were cut badly or anything like that. So this was not ABS, it was PVC. And you're seeing there's a stress white line already right here, right above the wrist, and a bent sword. So that's definitely a weak point there. It would have been nice to get this ABS, in my opinion. That being said, it's done incredibly well here when it comes to the fact that there's still a gap there. Look at that. There's a gap in between the body and the weapon, which is not easy to do. This is solid, and it does look a little silly. Like right here, it gets super fat. I think that's just silly looking. The pose is good, though. I dig the pose. Love the armor. Love the fact that the head's open, so you can actually, or the face mask is open, so you see the head underneath. Very cool. Okay, that's all of them. Let's take a look at some of the heroes. And then we'll look at all of this, how much you're actually getting here. Look at the face here. What a goofy face. Great looking shield, though. Love the fact that things are just kind of tacked on to there. And this freaking mace small thing is super awesome. Love the armor, by the way, as well. That's super cool. Overall, just very unique. Though, again, just kind of standing there. All right, this is the main orc, right, that you see on the cover, and he does look darn impressive. This is a whole separate a part of the mini here. It's assembled fairly well. It could be assembled better, though, in my opinion. Great looking blade, though, quite thick, but I think that's the whole point. I think it's supposed to be. The muscle definition looks awesome, of course. The little kind of fur tufts poking out of the straps look good. Yeah, all this I think looks really, really nice. Super cool. All right, I think this was the priestess, perhaps. She got this kind of ritual curved dagger thing and then this cool staff wand thing. It only goes down to here. That's kind of interesting. And it has this big tuft up on here, which is very neat. She's got like her knees connected, which is kind of an odd thing you don't really see too often, where the knees are hid and then this kind of bows out like that. It definitely gives it a unique look, though, like a pose that's kind of interesting. So I dig that. Let's see. She's got like her little satchel thing going on here with a really good lid on it, and the hair blowing in the same direction as the cloth is nice as well. Looks like there is that kind of runner thing I was talking about that you can get as well. The skull looks about the right size too. That's always important. Sometimes those skulls can be kind of silly. Look at this guy here. My freaking goodness. What a like oh yeah, look at me. I'm sitting here, and then you got this guy over here. Freaking this chubby man right here, which I love the fact that he's chubby. Is like I think he's just really short. He's just got these short legs. But then he got this like freaking monster thing coming out of like his head. Like just really coming out. That looks super cool. I really dig that. Yeah, this just looks awesome. There's not really a lot to say besides cool. Here's the little guy, and he is little. I like it. So he can be running around as a little guy with these freaking big blades. Love the texture on the blades, by the way. They look very like they've been pounded into that shape in a very cool, interesting way. The stitching on this cap is also super neat. That's really cool. Same with all the piercings on the ear there. Love how big the ear is. That's just a cool mini. This was the second hero, I believe. Love, again, the fact that they are including terrain, even with flat bases, to give you some interesting sculpts. Love that her hands rested on this blade here. I really do. And then she has her bow with spikes, so she can still kind of punch you with it. Just kind of down to the side. The mohawk, by the way, freaking sweet. Really do dig that. All right, this is awesome. Love the beard. Love the raised leg. The fact that they use the cape to connect, I think is actually really neat. And that's looking great as well. So it is connected here, so this is nice and secure. So you can pick it up and not worry about making it too flimsy or whatnot. All right, we got 3 more here. Okay, this is the freaking Gandalf one. Love the skull with the hole in it and all the smoke coming out. The big old long beard is awesome. The twirly the scepter is really cool. I dig pretty much everything about this. Of course, the hat is awesome with the hole in it and stuff like that. Just a super cool mini. All right, we got this lanky guy. Look how skinny and lanky he is. Super lanky. Also on a rock, I have noticed, I think it's always your left foot that's on there. We'll see if that changes at any time for anybody. This is connected here, but it's still quite skinny, so it's a little bent there. I suspect that would keep happening as well. Notice how this blade is actually a little bit of a banana blade, whereas this is like all super bendy. This is like super solid, because it's just a skinny little thing, and it's like just as fat. So there's something wrong there. All right, last one here, we have this lady here with these cool kind of curved swords here. Again, you can see the little runner there. Really, really long hair. Like, whoop, like crazy long hair. Look how long that hair is, all the way down to her feet almost. My daughter would love this. She loves long hair like that, so that's super cool. Guys. So, there's a lot. So there's a lot in here. There's guys, a lot of minis. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that for now. I say for now, but they're probably actually gonna stick with that. And oh look, there's the base. All right, that was box 1. Let's look at box 2. All right, box 2. Let's see what's in here. I mean, I guess you can already see 60 enemy miniatures. My goodness, guys, there are so many minis in this game. Dear Lord, we haven't had a game with this many minis for this price in quite some time. My goodness. Monolith must have gotten a pretty good deal on this. That's for sure. Ooh, that's for sure. Wow. All right. Oh, well, especially at this quality, I think that's kind of the key thing, too. Like, I think Homeworld looks to have quite a few minis, but the quality seems a bit sketch, to say the least. At least on those small minis. So we'll see. All right, love the art. I still really do dig that. That is some great art. Okay, again, this is just to take up some space. Just gonna throw it over there for now. So we got minis and minis. And cards. I'm not going to look at these cards. I imagine it's the same sort of stuff. We've already seen these different cards that are coming out there, so that's fine. We do got a whole bunch of dice. We'll take a look at the dice. We'll take a look at the art for some of the heroes, and it looks like we have another expansion thing, some tokens, and some tiles, and that's about it. So let's move this down there. Take a look. We'll take a look at that right before the mini. So let's look at the dice. A lot of dice as well. Okay. I got one blue one, I think, all that. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look here. So the black and red, that looks great. So I am colorblind. Not like to a really bad degree, but fairly sufficiently for actually quite a few oranges and stuff like that. I would probably mix up the orange and the red. Like I see that they're very opposite here, but if I'm just trying to glance, that orange is probably enough. I think it's enough. I think that's enough, actually, especially looking at them separate. I think it's pretty good. But one thing I was going to point out is that the explosion changes too. And that's really important, especially when you're doing something like different shades of a warm color, essentially. Put it down here so you can actually see what the heck I'm looking at again. See, so the red is a much bigger explosion little symbol than the orange. So that's nice to see. I do appreciate that. Let's see, the white and yellow, that's an interesting combo. Not sure how well that'll show up in a dimly lit game board session, you know, what normally is. I have a ton of light pointing at this. It is an off-white. It's kind of a cream, a pearl almost. And then this, I'm assuming, is orange, because I think the red is more, but also, see, that kind of matches the same orange there. I'm wanting to see a red. Yeah, so see, so the red has it all the way around. So that's one way you can kind of tell. For shields, the shields are tall shields. I dig that. It's either yellow, orange, or there's probably a red. Probably on the black die. Black die seem to be better. Yep, there's the red. That's a good looking red. I love a dark red. We do have a green and a blue die that seem different. So let's take a look at that as well. These are Chiswick's dice, by the way, and that they're like really, it's this kind of style that's very popular. In fact, this is probably even more so. These are very curved to where you're almost looking at a circle there. So these things are going to roll a ton, and they're not going to be like super randomly accurate. No board game one is, but if you want it as accurate as possible, first of all, you don't do special symbols because that could change the weight distribution, but also you have this like super solid, perfectly 90-degree angle edge line, so that each side has equal amount of chance. And these they promote rolling, which is nice and fun, but it also, these aren't going to be the exact same on every single side like that. It's invariably going to be different. The symbols are very cool. They actually are well painted as well. These dice are nice. I'm not even seeing like an overly amount of like scuff marks or anything like that. Like they're there. They're certainly there. You can see them. You always will. Which always kind of makes me feel kind of bad that like these new dice don't look super new all the time, but they look good. That's a good color blue too. That's the blue and white. I think it looks stellar. So yeah, they're really small too. They're smaller dice, which means they won't take up too much space, which is also good. Also means you can hold a whole bunch in your hand and roll them all at once. If you are an orc player in Warhammer, you know exactly what this is. When your sluggas go or something like that, you have all the little tiny dice because you have 64 of them or some junk like that. Okay, let's look at some of the art and then let's look at the minis. So this represents, I believe, all of the minis in this box. Hogan. Orc Warrior. This is another Orc Warrior. I don't know if you can repeat them or not. And again, the back, probably nothing. Yep. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Okay, I love his hair. Love this guy here, the Gnome Artificer. That's fun. And see, I'm okay almost with him having a gun. Oh, this is cool too. The Orc. So I don't know what the H is for there, but whatever. Either way, it's the Shaman. It's like a skinny orc. A Pork Hunter. Oh, I love it. These are so freaking cool. A Pork Witch. Oh, freaking nasty. A Pork Tracker. Gargoyle Brute. These are so fun. These are cool. Some idiot Youngblood Berserker. An Ogre. Ragnar the Barbarian King. Looks super freaking awesome. Loving the art on a lot of these. All these dwarves. Oh, look at the zombie's mustache hair. That's hilarious. The skeleton's got a little bit of hair as well. A mummy. A necromancer. Love it. The piglet hunter. Dun dun dun. Got a few of... So same art. Wait. What's the difference? Oh, wow. Look. That's the difference. My goodness. There's two... Wait. Okay. Look. The piglet hunter has a lot, okay? That's all you need to know. These bosses, my goodness. Very the gargoyle, and then Tarask, I believe is how you guys told me to pronounce it. Yes, I do read your comments. No Terraskew anymore. So sue me. Alright. You guys clicked on the a channel called The King of Average, and then you expected what? What did you expect? You get what you get. And you don't throw a fit. Like with these boxes, I swear. Okay. Minis time. Random packaging. Whoop. Still more. Come on. Ta-da-da-da. What? Look at this guy. He's great. I love it. So he's like sitting up here, way up here on these little things as he's piloting this. Love the drill. Love the pick. I don't love the filling that this has. I feel that this is just filler. It doesn't. I don't think it's supposed to be there at all. That's kind of a bummer. A little bit of a rock again on the left foot, noting that. Let's see here. Yeah, no, this is looking good. The lines here are all good. I dig all that. The face looks good. There's maybe a tiny bit of fill around the head, but not much. These are probably the main ones there. I wish that was different. On the back, very ornate, that's for sure. You got all these different bits of texture, actually, which I think is quite nice. All right, let's take a look at the gargoyles. Okay, really big, thick chain. These wings look awesome. Very muscular, my goodness. Love the face. These are like Hellboy horns. Really dig whatever the heck that weapon is. Love the hoops are, they got the whole gap there. There's a little bit of fill here, but honestly not much. Overall, I think this is a pretty good tail as well. I don't know, this like a little ring thing, which means he would have had to like put that on unless they like clashed somehow underneath or something. I don't know. Seems awkward either way. Either way, the more you think about it, the worse it probably is. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. Very cool. This is the like barbarian guy. Huge freaking slab of an axe. My goodness. With his theme, I'm fine with it being chunky like that, but normally I wouldn't like that. I love the tiny head to the big body. That's a plus for sure. Yeah, all the muscles look good. This texture's neat. This inside texture though is very plain and it's very noticeable. It looks like he's wearing a diaper. So that's probably my biggest peeve here is just that. Alright, next up we got another one of those guys. Alright. I can do repeats like nobody's business. What do we got here? 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 We got another one of those guys. But this is unique. I know it is because it's big. Oh boy. The Tarrasque. Look at that, guys. That is fun. What the heck? What a cool guy this is. He's freaking spiky. All the spikes. I dig that. Freaking gnarly tail. Look at the like vein stuff going on everywhere. All the teeth. Love that. Super cool. I dig it. That's a fun. That's well textured. My goodness. That's a fun mini. All right. Last box, guys. Last box. Let's see here. I think we're going to get more repeats in this one because I think there was a lot more enemies than the last one and less heroes. Which is, I think, the key there. Oh, pink! It's in pink! Oh my gosh, guys! Sorry, I shouldn't have done that with my throat. Oh my gosh. It's a pink pig. Oh, wow. Okay, so a little bit of melting here. I don't really care for that. And then this is solid here too, which looks silly. The texture on the body, of course, is amazing. Love the weapon design. Love the overall design. All the little layers of stuff here. It's kind of hard to tell what I'm looking at necessarily there. So I paint it. The armor padding, that was awesome. I really dig that. And it's pink. I don't know what you want from me. It's pink and I love it. Wow. Okay, so we got a few of those. Woo! Wow, look at that. I'm gonna break what I'm gonna do. Got a whole bunch of those. I mean, just look. How many did you want? The answer is yes. Yes, that's how many you want. Okay, so it looks like we do have a different one here. So let's take a look. Let's see what the doctor ordered. He ordered this guy. He's going to throw this little grenade thing. I dig it. I love the little flame there. I love all the different clothings that they have. Like this weird little unclasped vest thing. The hand looks great, so that's awesome. Love that he's looking up. Love the little tusk teeth. Again, the left foot is raised. That's a very common thing apparently here. He's got a whole bunch more to throw. I like seeing that as well. That looks awesome. Very cool one. I dig it. Let's take a look at the skeleton. Oh, this is like a mummy guy or whatever. Either way, the inside of the shield looks great. The damaged sword looks really good as well. The connection point is pretty solid. Love the tatters and the cloth and all that. That looks really, really good also. And it still has a little bit of hair, just like the art, which makes it super fun. And of course, we have a whole bunch of them. We also have this guy here. This also looks like a Crimean kind of guy. Very well armored. This actually has a texture on the side. See, it's this kind of consistency. It always bothers me. It's like, so this one has texture, but then the other ones don't. The texture makes it like 90% better. It's still a little fat, so it looks a little silly, but the texture certainly helps. So I do appreciate that. Holding the blade, I actually really dig that. I like the little notch on the end there too. I have no idea what you even call that, but I like it. The fur looks good. It's a cool looking mini. All right, I think that is everybody here, but wait, this guy's different. Let's take a look at more pink. More pink. And he's got his right foot raised, guys. It's different. I love it. This is my favorite one. Oh, wait, never mind. Look how solid of a flat color that is. Just a filler. Really big bummer to see that, especially raised up like that. That's all you're going to see. At least angle it in or something like that, I would say. Love the weapon. Fur looks great. Hand looks good. Very thick hands. Little thick fingers. Face looks awesome. I really dig it. All right, next layer. Look at this one. This is, I forget which one it was that this chick was, but my goodness, holding the blade down like that is really cool. I actually really dig that. And then, of course, the little clubbing tool there. Love the fact that there's still a head on this little cloth pelt thing that they got going on there. And again, right foot raised. Tends to be a pink thing apparently. All right, we got a whole bunch of these. Okay, let's look at one of them here. I do really like the weapon. The weapon's super cool. A little bendy. Oop, broke him off his base too. A little bendy, but not too bad. A whole bunch of connection points though, so that's really great to see. Really happy to see that. Love the broken foot thing. Love the bent head. Love, again, the fact that that's not filled. That's a little gap there. I actually really do dig that. Yeah, overall, again, I think it looks great. Very fancy. Just don't break them off the base. You guys won't have to worry about that. Yours won't be a prototype. Okay. Now we also have this dwarf guy. Love the overall stature of him. Very squat in a good way. I'm noticing this a lot. There's that little connection piece there, but it's not too bad. The clasp for the cloak, also very neat. So is the little kind of man bun going on there. I actually really dig that for the dwarf. I think that looks like a fighting dwarf, right? It's not like even the beard is trimmed, right? They're definitely ready for battle and don't want any distractions or anything reducing your full mobility and stuff like that. All right, this was the one we had already seen that we have more copies of. That's what I was trying to get. I'm actually going to take this other layer off as well. I think we're almost done, guys. Let's see, we got more and more and more of these. We also have this guy. Again, love how stout they are. Ornate freaking shield. Very fancy hammer. It's not attached to the floor. I actually kind of wish it was so it'd go all the way down. It's not like he's going to hold it up like that, so I'm fine with that. Very static pose, but in a power stance, which is why the shield's pulled towards the body, and he's putting his hand down on the hammer that should be touching the ground. Tons of armor, very ornate, like bearding, like braiding on the beard. The hair over here on the like hood thing. Of course, the full length cloak looks super duper cool for sure. All right, and we also have this guy here. Again, also looks very Crimean, if you ask me. Love the skull, love the weapon there. I think it looks good. I don't actually, yeah, it looks great. I think they did a good job separating it there. Again, his right foot now is raised, so we're seeing more of that. I do appreciate that. Good muscle definition, great looking face, square jaw. You can see the prominent cheekbones there. The kind of the terse lips there. They're kind of drawn in slightly. The fur cloak looks great. Great mini. Great mini. Great. All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? We got this guy. We got this guy. And we got these repeats. Okay. And then I think some more repeats here. No. When it comes to that. Gosh, we got so many minis, guys. So many minis. Okay, we got 2 of those. Okay. So, here's this guy. I believe this is actually the mummy. Yep, all the wrappings and bandaging, all that looks super cool. Love the tattered clothes. Not quite a zombie-like, but still kind of weird. In fact, I love the fact that he's leaning back a little bit. I actually appreciate that. Almost seems like he's swaying slightly. And a gnarly looking weapon. Well, even the raised hand slightly, that looks good. It is kind of mid hands. And I think the headgear still looks kind of silly. All right, this is interesting. This guy looks super girly to me. Like his pose reminds me of like a Japanese schoolgirl almost. So he's like holding it, clutching this to his chest with his arm raised and his foot slightly up, like ooh. That's what I'm imagining him sounding like right there. I don't know what's going on there. Oh my gosh, that's just silly looking. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna just make jokes. I think it's funny. I like that guy. I remember seeing artwork that represented that very well. Jeez. All right, we got a few like this. This is a cool one. I love that he's holding the axe so high. I think that's probably bent a little bit, but we can bend that back. And very well defined. The hair swooshing to the side is very fitting for this style here. This whole raised bit here, I typically don't like that. The little dust trails. I don't think that looks that great. I would have preferred to like have this be something. I don't know. It's always kind of hard, but I just feel that's not super great looking. Love the dagger out and holding close to him. Just definitely looks like he's picking up his weapons and trying to get in there. All right, so we got some green ones here, and then the very last layer. Guys, we are almost done. All right, let's see. What do we got here? What do we have? We got more green, and I think that's it, is the green. Yep, okay. So, take these guys out as well, just so they're out. Empty box. All right, let's take a look at the last characters. This guy's beard is freaking sweet. I dig it. And his hat, big old cone hat. I mean, I think he's armored. Dear Lord, look at the armor on this guy. Is there any way you can even hurt him? You cut his beard and hurt his feelings. That's about all you could do. Here's another one very similar, but different a weapon, obviously, a gun. I love the fact that the inside goes in a little bit, makes the painting easier. The hand in the back, like that's pretty cool too. And I really like the helmet on this one with the little traditional horns. I would call them traditional. All right, then we got, this is the tall, lanky guy again. Love his mask. That was a great looking mask with the skull here, of course, as well. But that mask, I think, really takes the cake for it for me. That's just a fun little thing. And then finally, we have this guy. He's freaking big and early. I think this is the top artwork here. This is Hagen or whatever his name is. I love the fact that they look so much like their artwork. They did a good job with that. Axe is a little thick, but that's okay. The handle, I think, is perfect for these giant orcs that you're dealing with here. The chain looks great. Really dig that. these wrappings around the various body parts like legs and arms and stuff have been good the whole time. And the mold line, you can kind of see it here, but it's very faint. This is the first time I've even mentioned a mold line in all of these. They are actually quite stellar stuff by the looks of it. So that is now the second box is all of this. Plus, of course, all the cards and the dice and whatnot. So that is OrcQuest WarPath, now by Monolith. Yeah, I'll have a link down in the description below to the Kickstarter, obviously. It seems to be a pretty darn good deal, but I'll let you guys know in a review here soon, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't. Guys, thank you so much for your support, whether it's through the fundraiser that's linked down below. Thank you so much for that. Whether it's through Patreon or even just liking the video, leaving a comment, something like that. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.